Every single day, a new AI tool pops up promising to replace your content team. We've got AI that can write your scripts, design your thumbnails, edit your videos, and even replace you completely. And honestly, it's getting scary good. But how close are we really to AI taking over the entire content creation process? Because like many businesses, we're looking for better, more efficient ways to tell people about our product, Clipflow. So I'm going to chat with Clipflow's founders, Ken and Darren, to see how they're using AI to create content and to break down our predictions of where we think AI content creation is going. So let's see how long I've got before I'm out of a job. All right, here we go, lads. So where have you guys seen AI being used most effectively for creating content and specifically for business owners?
So it's the same as anything. It's a tool. And tools are designed for us humans to make us work quicker and more efficiently. And I've seen this from the sidelines, watching how you guys work with content. Hey, I've kind of created a structure for how I want to present my content. I'm going to set up a thing in ChatGPT, get it to ask you questions, and then you give it questions and then it spits out what you want back. That kind of ideating is really powerful. Yeah. You're basically getting someone else to just chat with, and the rubber ducking, we call it, in software. Or in most things, it's like you're just talking at someone and then you're going to figure out the thing. I love the fact that I can now get like a royalty-free picture of something for a YouTube thumb. And like, it's just a background. That allowed me, without that skill, to actually go and produce thumbs that actually were of high quality or higher quality than if I was manually doing it in Photoshop. I think you can use those tools to actually be better and create better quality, and then script writing and just helping you write. Like, I'm not a writer either. A GPT could write better than me. Put it through your filter and say, okay, well, that's a cool point. I'm just going to use the words I would use.
You get to put way more reps in. Like if you can use it to get 3 videos out a week when you were only getting 1 out before, great. But if you take your hand off the steering wheel and stop actually directing it, you'll never learn anything. I reckon it'll be very similar to software in that you will see people talking about how they do a completely automated channel. And I've seen videos of people doing it. They will show big numbers and they will say, I'm making lots of money. And it will be very tempting to try and do all of those things, just like it's very tempting to start up a one-shot app that you can make money overnight. That's not where the longevity in business is. Everyone is going to be an even playing field. Everyone's getting the same benefits. If you don't try and build a really long-term brand with your hands on the steering wheel, deciding where it's going and learning every time you do it, then it's not for anything anyway.
How do you guys feel about businesses using AI to create bulk content?
The thing is, like AI, Midjourney can be like, it can spit out 500 images for me in an hour. If I make an image, so for example, like a moon space picture, there's a lot of different ways an AI could make a moon space picture. I have like a style where I want clean technical vector lines, blah, blah, blah. I can narrow down the prompt to what I'm trying to achieve and still get 4 wildly different results. And then you've got to mentally in your head have like a consistent plan of what you've got already and where you want to go. And like there's ways of training the models to get the consistent results there, but then how does that fit into the bigger picture? Because I think like when you're making YouTube channels, how does all of the content fit into the bigger picture, the long-term plan? Because you're investing all of this time into something that you're probably not going to get views for the first year, or you're probably not going to make money for a year or two. What is the long-term picture? Because every move you make towards the long-term picture is the right one. And the AI can get context if you chat with it a lot about what your long-term plan is, but everything has to fit into that.
Okay. So you're kind of talking about taste, right? Which I feel like AI hasn't really nailed taste. But then what is taste?
Yeah, so taste is very individual, right? Yeah. Like everyone has different tastes. Everyone has a different aesthetic that they appreciate, and that just happens over time. But I think it's a way of delivering something that will hit with a lot of people, right? And people a lot of time can't actually put their finger on what it is. It's like, why did you like that video? It's very hard. And this is like where terms are like to try and break down a term and like act like that. It's like, how do you actually do that? But I think what happens with taste, and especially if we're talking about like content and stuff, you develop taste, and I guess it's almost like skill to produce something of quality.
Yeah. Through
reps and volume. So over time, you're going to learn like, okay, so when I talk like this, it's people respond to it. It's like I'm energetic. I have like, there's people want to talk and interact with me. And like, how do you develop that skill to do these things? And like, you have to break it down into movements. Like, you know, people say like, what's being charismatic or something. Hormozy does great jobs of like breaking down terms into what they actually mean. Because like saying a word paste doesn't, like you can't say to a kid, have paste. They don't know.
Yes.
Or like, we talk about patience. It's like finding something else to do in the meantime. But taste is like for me in software, like if we talk about software, it's the small things. It's like fonts are balanced across the page. Padding is always equal.
Yes.
It's consistency. But if you have a consistent quality or consistent grade, a consistent story that gets told, that is how you're going to build something that has taste. And I think that's really hard to achieve when you're using our tools that don't have consistency. They're getting better at that, so they can maintain it.
But they have their own taste, though, don't they? They're going to have their own version of what taste is.
Yeah, and it's a generic blend of everything.
Yes. Two words that I think pop out there is like what you're trying to communicate. So your taste is what you're trying to communicate, or like where taste takes what you produce is what you're trying to communicate, and you probably get it all from consumption. So you consume things. So say, for example, I consume Alex Hormozy. How does the way he delivers things make me feel? All right, I'm going to try and do that. Then I consume something over here. I say, how does the way that shot looks make me feel? Okay, I want to do that because I want people to feel a certain way when I communicate. When I consumed, how did I feel? Because, like, you know, you watch some people online and you're like, I don't resonate with that person at all. Yes. I don't want to put that same style out there because that's not to my taste. It's not how I want to communicate to the world. And like choosing fonts, making every font in the system consistent is communicating that you care about the finer details and you care about consistency. And like there's so many, everything you're doing is just trying to say something in one way. Whether you shoot everything professionally or you choose to have a bunch of GoPro shots, both things can achieve a certain thing through what you're communicating to people. And that's where like your taste is, what do you want to communicate? What do you want to send out there?
All that makes me wonder if we are as close as we think we are to businesses just running content on autopilot. A part of me feels like there still needs to be that human thing. I don't know. What do you guys think?
In the short term, I think is that human element. It's like being able to like walk outside and like actually show things that are real. Like if I wanted to, I could go and see that exact thing that guy was just standing at. Things that are being created out of nothing. I think about like what we're building, right? Our house. No AI can show that. It's impossible. Because it doesn't exist and it's never existed and it's going to be different and it's going to be unique. So me showing you how it's actually coming out of the ground and talking about our experience, because we're going to have a different experience than someone else. Even if you were building it or you were building it, we're going to have a different experience. Certain things are going to annoy me that don't annoy you, right? And I'm going to talk on those and I'm going to highlight different things like, hey, I don't know this thing. You should look out for this thing. So all those like points of view and aspects, it's going to be a very long time before it gets until you have a literal robot that does that for you. It's like, hey guys, like this is really annoying. Like all these workers aren't, like cool. That seems
I'm really
a while.
interested to see like beyond the AI Yeti hype of it, like being AI and it's funny and exciting. Do people care about the stories that a character who is generated tell? Because like essentially what Ken's talking about there is storytelling. It's our experience building a thing and people connect with it. Will people connect with manufactured stories long term, or is this just like, oh, AI Yeti, that's sick. Like I like that now. Do I still want AI generated characters delivering stories later? I don't know.
I think you will. I
reckon it's possible that it will.
Yeah. Because who hasn't shed a tear in a Disney Pixar movie before?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's not even real. It's a 3D
it's
animation.
a fake story,
Okay, there's no doubt that AI-generated content is going to have a place in our lives. It probably already has more than you realize. But whether it's going to replace the need for doing this is a tricky one. Humans are pretty good at spotting fake humans, but there will be a point that it gets so good that we don't even know it's not real. But at the end of the day, we can't predict the future. And doing this, sharing stories and talking to your target audience is still the best way to connect with people on scale. And what I'm trying to say is we still have time. Creating high-value, great content is not a waste for your business. If anything, it's still a no-brainer. So use AI as a tool to speed up your process and keep digging deeper into how you can help your target viewer. This is the moment where I tell you this entire thing was AI generated. You thought it might have been for a second. Or is it?